Alright folks, here we are, nearing the end of this wrap project. It's been a hell of a journey so far, wrapping this car, getting the livery installed, and just finished up on the sponsor livery. It is complete. Super exciting in all honesty. But today's video is the last project we're doing on Ryan's NC. We're installing some Revlimiter Gauge Faces. So I have done gauge faces in the past from Revlimiter on NAs, NBs, as well as my old ND. I have not, however, had a chance to do the NC. I've been told and watched a couple videos, it seems is almost exactly the same as the ND. I think the needles might be a little trickier, but that's what we're going to find out today. So I'm going to take you through how to disassemble your dash, as well as dismantle the gauge cluster and remove the OEM gauge faces to install this super cool Revlimiter gauge face. We did the JNC style, as well as a couple of custom options as well, but take a look at that next. While in there, I will also be removing the dash piece. It's basically a plastic dash piece that sits there. There's this ugly gray that we will be wrapping. I haven't decided if we're doing red or white yet. Depends on if I have enough red left. Everything on this project so far has been just enough. Didn't order too much excess, so that's nice. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on this. Very excited. All right, so this is what we have received. We're replacing the stock gauges with. Super nice looking, just classic Mazda look. We did do a custom option of single digits in for the tack, but yeah, this should be really nice looking once it's all done. Now, of course, this NC has red backing, so all the numbers at night will be shown in red. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started on dismantling the dash. The first couple pieces we'll be doing here, of course, will be removing the cut. Yeah. So yeah, of course, the first couple pieces we'll be removing the steering column cover as well as the gauge hood, which this just basically clips out. Should be removed pretty easily. And then there are 3 screws holding this in, and after that we will be removing the entire gauge cluster from the car. Luckily Ryan here also has a quick release steering wheel. Have that out of the way. Handy dandy. Probably the only reason why I've ever really used those is just working on the dash, but yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so first up here, I've got a couple screwdrivers, shorter one, longer one. I believe one of these will require a longer screwdriver, and I got a flathead just because I don't leave home without a flathead, sure. So we have a dash trim removal tool that I'll most likely just be using on the trim piece here, the dash trim pieces I mentioned before. But this guy should have 3 screws to be removed. Yeah, there's one. Was that it? Just came out super easy this time. Yeah, that was definitely a different screw. I don't know what I was hitting. Alright, so this little short stubby guy, remind me later, it'll be going in the back. Yeah, I was just hitting the back of it. Okay, so after that, pull off. I know I have the steering column cover as well, or positioning lever. Okay, yeah, that was that guy. It just comes out, so I'll probably have to get that after. And then I believe this just pops off the steering or gauge cluster hood. Yeah, 2 pop off the top from the front. And this guy also pops upward. And that was super easy. Pretty cool. I'd say if you ever want to replace this with like carbon Miata, carbon fiber one, that would be a nice little look. Pretty easy to do as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and move the steering column down a bit, lock that in place. And yeah, so after that, there'll be a couple screws underneath the flap, I would imagine. I'm not seeing them though. Huh. You know, I see a couple little pins in the bottom, but I don't see any screws. I watched a video earlier that had screws, but I'm gonna go ahead and take the top one out that I clearly see on top, and we'll see what happens after that. So I got that one off the top, put that in the shifter turret, and all right, there's definitely a couple screws there somewhere. Where are we at with that? The screws are coming up from the bottom. Okay, that's interesting. I thought it'd be more like a NB and a Miata. So that will be where my long boy screwdriver comes into play. Go ahead and put that up and work around some wires to get to that. I would like to stop for a second and mention that the battery has already been disconnected before doing this. I don't think it'll make too much of a difference, but I like weird electrics with the battery plugged in, so yeah. Okay, that screw is a pretty easy one to take out of there, and it fell and it did not hit the ground. So, okay, stuck between two wires. Got that, same kind as up top, cool. So these will not make a difference when putting back in. And getting this other screw out of the bottom. Now I'll go ahead and grab that. Don't have to worry about it being lost, going into oblivion. All right, so after that, this comes out that way. It looks to pop out the top. What is? There we go. All right, so once those screws have been done, it has two plug clips on the back. You'll simply push and pull on those. There goes the one. The other looks a little bit simpler, but it's not. There we go. All right, and I have one little bit in there that holds it all together. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a gauge cluster. Very nice, very dirty. Lots of spots on it too from the finish coming off. I had this issue on my ND as well. If anyone knows of a good method for cleaning this, let me know in the comments below. I sure as heck would appreciate it because I never did find a good solution for the old ND. Yeah, it just seems like this film on it. I see it has a nice blue tint in my lights, but I've not found a good way to clean that off. But yeah, definitely love the individual gauge faces over the NA and NB. Just that clear plastic panel. It was a good move from Mazda on the design for that. But we have this out now, and I'm gonna go ahead and start taking off the backside. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it now. So I actually just took a second to go ahead and wrap that whole interior dash trim piece. What a pain in the butt. I don't know if I'm putting this video, but if you would like to see that footage, post up downstairs in the comments below. I'm happy to put something together. But let us continue onto this lovely gauge cluster project, shall we? I don't like doing this on my dirty old table here, but I'm just gonna flip it upside down. Getting to the back piece here. We have 4 small Phillips head screws we'll undo. Focused. Yeah. Okay. Make sure we're not just focusing on my hand in this video. Perfect. About to bust out the power drill for this one. This is pretty long screws. And I got 2 over here. As I said, revealing the backside. Now this all looks extremely complex. Do not worry, we will not have to bother with any of this. We will just take off this plastic garb around the bottom. Do not forget to put that back. I remember the last time I did my ND, I was unable to. So I believe the next step is, I'm probably gonna undo these plastic clips around here and flip the entire thing over. No, it would be the white outer clips. So one here, yeah. And you'll slowly lift as you pull around. I do recommend a flathead screwdriver at this point. So as I said, just slowly applying pressure to each clip. Yep. It is an upward pressure, of course. Yeah, this is going very smoothly. What am I missing? Of course, the end one. Yeah, okay, wow. Looks like the bottom 2 reclipped themselves. Just gonna slowly undo that. Revealing, bum 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 bum, the gauge faces. So, we've got these 2 things here, adjust the speedo and info. They are rather delicate, so don't mess with them too much. Kind of leave them be. But next up we have is all of the needles here. So this is where things get a little more intimidating with this project, as with futures. So if you see the needles, they self-center on each of the speedos and center along to 0, as does the tachometer. Yep, and these self-tip to 0 at these little marking points, of which we will be putting those back exactly as they are. But yeah, they do the same thing. Yep, just like an ND. Cool, not too much has changed between those generations. Whew. So, you ready for this, folks? So, the trick here, I'm told, is to simply be grabbing it by the center. Don't grab it by this, or else you're not going to have needles. And do it counterclockwise, ever so slowly, applying pressure upward motion as you do it. So, take a quick breath. Not too intimidating. Wow, that came off really easily. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna put that over here and do this side. Yeah. Just ever so slowly going in a counterclockwise. Nice. I feel like I was applying too much pressure on the upward motion here on the speedometer. However, I feel like I wasn't at the same time, so I don't know what's up with that, but that was extremely easy. I know if you apply too much pressure, you will break the needles inside. You can see the little picks in there. I'll just say this, you got this. Who's ever watching right now, the viewer, you have this, bro. Yeah. Not too bad. I was expecting a little more difficulty. I have done a handful, like maybe a half dozen of these in my lifetime. The NAs are somewhat similar, but this is actually easier than an NA because, these all self-zero, whereas the NAs you have to remember Wow, that came off really easily. Exactly where that was before. So, as I had showed you previously, this is what we received from Adam at Revlimiter. And we'll simply take this out, and the new one will pop right in. And I'm going to go ahead and save this for my customer so that he may... Oh, I see there's a little slit in the bottom there that tucked under, so I had to pull it at a, somewhat, downward motion. I don't want to mess with it too much, in case for whatever reason Ryan wanted to reuse this someday. However, in my experience, I have never reused stock gauge faces once they have been removed because, well, what's the fun in that, really? I mean, I guess you could sell it, buy it, sell, I don't know. But yes, just carefully remove that. Take out your brand spanking new gauge faces from Revlimiter. Like I said, just nice packaging overall. Nice cardboard safety sheet here. And I remember some 12 something maybe years ago, he used to print these and you were not able to touch the surface of it at all. Like it would just smear the design. Kind of crazy in all honesty. But they still look super cool. I remember I did the bars design in my first Miata. So for these guys, kind of just pressing them in ever so gently. There's little ticks back and forth. They'll allow you to input in. I feel like I'm gonna get yelled at for pressing it ever so hardly into place there, but it did not harm anything whatsoever. These are very nicely made. Yeah, that's it. That's all done. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the needles back on. I didn't really watch the tutorial for this part, but I imagine it would be the same way as counterclockwise putting them back on. Again, as I said before, make sure that you are holding it by the centers and not these, because these will come apart. I learned that the hard way on my ND Miata, and sat there for at least 20 minutes trying to figure out how to put that back on, but so dialing this in to absolute 0. Yes, and as you can see, it can still move freely, so it's not too tight, sits at absolute 0, perfect. Heck yeah, brother. This is, I would say, not too difficult of a project. I think if you're able to take apart your dash and get it out of there following my instructions, this is very doable. Yeah. Very nice. Center's at 0. Very cool. I'm going to do the same with these. I think I'm not even going to bother twisting it. And I see Revlimiter has also added the same OEM zeroing points onto these gauges. I would say that every precaution has been taken to make these as close to OEM as possible. So, perfect. Awesome. Digging it. I will add in that latex gloves were included with Revlimiter's little kit. I have opted to not use so, but I have washed my hands before doing so. Maybe I should use the gloves. I guess I'm feeling a little ballsy. Alright, one last for the water gauge, water temp. I'm not too familiar with NCs, but are water temp gauges in this car accurate, or are they dummies like the NA? I mean, I'm sure they're accurate, but let me know. Let me know what you think. And slowly putting that one in. That one felt a little funky when I was pressing it, and I just want to make sure. Yep. And Bada boom, bada bing, we're done, baby. Look at those. I cannot wait to see them in the car. Let's do it. Alright. As I was asking previously, if you could let me know if there is a certain cleaner you can use for this. I'm not gonna mess with it, it's not my car, but I remember I had all sorts of swirls on my ND that had, the same sort of laminate is on these. So if you could, let me know if you have any information on a good cleaner for those. But I'm just gonna go ahead and press that on. I feel like that just did it really quickly and easily. That was weird. Okay, now, so I'm gonna press that just a little bit tighter. Making sure that each of those are clipped in there. Something's not lining up right. I think it's the sides that are. Yeah, something's not clipping into place correctly. None of them are. Nothing's hitting up top, so it's got to be an alignment of something here. It's incorrect, but I don't see anything off. Maybe it's just the tabs for those. Alright, so I'll just press on the black ever so somewhat gently, I suppose, and press that back into place. Yeah, that's not bad. Guess I'll do each individual one. Okay, so I just have to press on each tab and allow that clip into place. I see there's just some random black overlay there. Ow, that was a thumb. If I get that one first, yeah, okay. I remember these bottom pieces, they didn't exactly clip in very well anyways, so. All right. Oh, these are definitely already clipped in. Cool. Okay then. Was enough. All right, cut back in. All right, that's it. Dang. Freaking sharp. Okay, well, that guy decided to spin itself, but I believe when I have it in the car, it should zero out on its own. And let's hope that's the case, because I don't know, that's stupid. All right, let's go ahead and put this back in the car, power it on, and see what happens, shall we? All right, with my screwdrivers in hand, I'm gonna go ahead and install this back into the car. Also, you might notice, look at that red, baby. I do not recommend wrapping these. That was an extreme pain in the ass, not gonna lie. But it's done and it looks super good, so I am happy that came out nicely. But I'm gonna go ahead and make sure to plug in all of the plugs onto the back end. That is not the correct way. That is the correct way, okay. I've got the one plug in. I'll put the center piece there, and the other plug in place. All right. Sweet. Right, because it goes in to that spot up there. That's cool. I actually understand that now. Yes. Alright. 1 second, and we'll power this on. Okay. Nice. Well, I'm not going to turn it on at all just yet because I'm still in the garage, but yeah, power's on just right. Cool. I think I'll do that in the second half of the video, but let's go ahead and get this all pinned back together, get the screws in place, and yeah, good to go. Still have the screwdrivers, right? We haven't lost them? Yeah, there they are. Okay. So, we have the 2 bottom screws and the 1 top screw. We'll go ahead and put those in place. Do you remember which is which? I'm pretty sure these were all just the black ones. So, we'll use the long screwdriver to put these into place. I actually put this back into place just to get it out of the way earlier, but that is not going to be needed just yet. That's okay. All right. Find a good way to get in through there. There we go. Perfect. For the other side, a little bit easier. Not worming my way through wires. That did not want to go in because it is the wrong screw. It helps if you use the right screw. I will say that. Anyways, probably go ahead and cut this part unless I do something stupid, which I don't believe to be the case, but all right. Got that and that. This will go ahead and pin right back up top, like so. Oh, super clean, dude. Hell yeah. Okay. This will pin right back at the bottom. And the topper, which I put it back here. Okay. Now again, there were 3 different screws. So, which one was which? I believe the rear one was probably this funky one. All right, the gauges are in. They're looking phenomenal. Like I said, this isn't too hard of a project. Like if you've taken any part of your dash apart before, or seems like this video might not be too hard, it really isn't. It wasn't too bad. I was actually dreading doing these gauge noodles. Like I remember on the ND, there was one of them that was real tough, but these came off with ease. This wasn't bad. Maybe I got lucky with this car. I don't know, but I'm gonna give this one a 4 out of 10 on difficulty level. Not too bad. So I really hope that you liked this video. I hope this helped you in deciding if you want to do it, or tips to do it if you've already purchased. You can find these gauges on my site, Spinnywhoosh.com, or of course through Adam at Revlimiter as well. Highly recommend it. This was the JNC style Gauge Faces. Such a cool retro look. They look really nice. But yeah, that'll do it for this video. I'll see you on the next one. As far as this rap series goes, baby, we done! Shoot. This has been, I went over my deadline. I'm about 2.5 weeks in now instead of my dedicated 2 weeks, but I'm going to do one final conclusion video. Might do some drone shots, take it out to my favorite spot, do some photos, but this is done. Yeah. So, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I'll see you for the next one. Until next time.